Hey guys, today we are at a very special place and you can already see it behind me. We have loads of Marshalls, bikes, guitars. I am at the place of a very good friend of mine, Ray's Guitar Repair Center. And today we're going to take a look at one of my guitars, and it's a TOD10N. Now probably you guys don't know this guitar, but it's a very popular Ibanez guitar with nylon strings. Maybe you know the band Polyphia, Tim Henson, that's his signature guitar. The only problem is a nylon guitar is of course much difficult to play than an electric guitar, because the action is a little bit higher. For you guys that don't know about guitars, that means the strings and the fretboard, the distance between those two are a little bit higher, and that makes playing something harder. So today, Ray is gonna look at the guitar. It's straight from the store, so let's see if the store adjustment is correct or that Ray can actually improve it. And I'm pretty sure he can improve it a lot. So let's take a look at the TOD10N en Ray.
Ik ga eerst met mijn ogen er overheen kijken, over de hals. Daarna pak ik een liniaal. Ga ik kijken hoe ik het uit kan lijnen. En hoeveel ik van het zadel af kan vrezen.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure, of course, the action. And then Ray is going to shave off something from the saddle that you can see over here to lower the action. And as you can see here, this is the action at the moment, but the camera of course doesn't pick it up. So we're going to do this nicely with a ruler. Of course, the first thing we have to do is make sure that the neck is straight or has relief, because it doesn't have to be 100% straight, of course. Sometimes a little bit relief is better. And that's why there's a little adjustment over here called a thrust rod. And that's a visual inspection, and you can do it with a ruler, but Ray, of course, is a professional, so he probably knows best. So Ray is now checking the neck. So we found out that out of the box the thrust rod isn't tightened at all, and that's weird. So we have now tightened it, and now Ray is actually adjusting it.
Straight as an arrow.
Perfect. And that was just a tiny adjustment, right?
Yes.
Cool. So now we're measuring the height of the strings, and Ray is using the paper not to damage the guitar, of course. So he's now metering the height of the strings. Now, of course, both strings are different. We have thick strings and thinner strings. So Ray is now metering from the other side to calculate what he can take off on that side. So we don't take off even on both sides. It will actually vary to make sure that the guitar is still playable and doesn't buzz. The real tool from the luthier. Yes, very important. Okay, so we loosened all the strings, so we don't have to change strings. And if it's necessary, we of course will change the strings. And Ray will now probably take the saddle off and then start his work. And there we go, the saddle is off. So what we're going to do now, it's going to make a lot of noise. We're going to take off part of the saddle. As you can see here, Ray already drew it out. So let's zoom in a little bit on that. There you can see. He's going to take that off, and then he's going to use another machine to do the fine stuff. So let's go to the other machine. That's this one. And this machine that will take off the last part. Nice. So Ray, are you ready to make some noise?
Well, let's do it.
You have a headphone on, I don't. So I'm going to stand back. Okay, so you're using the light to make sure that you can't see underneath, so that it's 100% flat, right?
Yeah, correct.
Cool. Those are the nice little tricks. Now the reason it's so important that you can look underneath is because we're using pickups that are underneath the saddle. So if the saddle doesn't close nicely, you won't get a nice sound. So acoustically it will sound fine. As soon as you start using it electric, that's of course how I want to use this one, it will suck. So make sure you check that very carefully. And of course use a luthier, because he knows. So Ray didn't take off the maximum, of course, because otherwise you have to create a new saddle if something goes wrong. So he's first going to try it like this, and then if it's necessary, he can always take off a little bit more, but he can't make more on it. So that's why it's always important to check it. And from experience, I can tell you that these little attachments to your drill make a huge difference by stringing up your guitar. Okay, this is a buzz test, so Ray is playing all the frets to make sure that you don't have any dead notes or dead spots or buzzing. We call this the chromatic song, right, Ray?
Yes.
Now, Ray actually tells me that he can go a little bit lower, but that will actually cost me some sustain. Now, because the guitar already played pretty good out of the box and he already took out a lot and adjusted the neck, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. It doesn't have to be super low action if that cost me any sustain or whatever, but it needed to be a little bit lower. I just did a little test. It plays much nicer now. It still has great sustain acoustically and electrical. And the action is indeed a lot lower. It's only a few millimeters, but oh my, that changes a lot in playability. So the camera doesn't pick it properly up, but maybe you can see the difference. So my advice, the TOD10N is a great guitar. I absolutely love it. But find a good luthier, because the truss rod wasn't tightened, that's bad. And also the action could be a lot lower without losing any sustain. Don't make it too low, that's ridiculous. But a little bit, that's great. So find a good luthier and your TOD10N will be an amazing guitar. I already look forward to testing it out even more.